Yo, check it. It's the Hugo Amadi Show. Football's the game. Wherever we go, from the Premier League to La Liga's might, international stars shining bright. Hugo Amadi, that's the name. Football's the game. We're in the game. Highlights, analysis, news, and more. We got you covered forevermore. Nigerian pride, flying high. Super Eagles, reaching for the sky. From the streets to the stadiums grand, football's the passion throughout the land. Hugo Amadi, Hugo Amadi.
Hey, you're welcome to the Ugamadi Football Show, and here we go. Chelsea and Liverpool's Wonder Kids, Rio Ngoma and Tyreek George, can absolutely be magical for Nigeria. These are fantastic players. If you're a Chelsea fan, if you're a Liverpool fan, you know all these players. And Rio Ngoma used to be a Chelsea player, played for the under 16 side. But has since moved to join Liverpool this season, to join the academy this season. Maybe skeptical about the move, but he's a wonderful talent, and Liverpool were keen to get him. So I think he's going to come good there. But he's an amazing talent. Same thing with Tyreek George as well. Super special player, and he's played a couple of games for Chelsea, and also had some Conference League some Conference League appearances for Chelsea. He did play the preseason study game against Wrexham. So two very fantastic players, and I think these players can be magical for Nigeria. I know a lot of you will be saying, here he goes again, talking about players who have dual nationalities that could possibly be playing for England. And you're right. You'll be right 1,000%, because I wouldn't stop. I wouldn't stop. They can play for England. It's quite possible. Yeah, that's possible 1,000%. But they can also play for Nigeria. And until the day that they've played their fourth game, or their fifth game, is it, for England, and then thereby confirming that they're unable to play for Nigeria, I'll keep talking about these players. So for me, Rio Ngoma, wonderful talented player, can play as a 10, and I think can play anywhere in the attacking midfield behind a recognized number 9. So he can play in the 10, he can play on the left wing, he can play on the right wing as well. But I think he's more akin to playing in the 10 role, sort of like Jamal Musiala. Got tricks for days, he's pacey, and he's very good on the ball. So it's a player I would want Nigeria to get. Same thing with Tyreek George. Tyreek George is more of a winger. He's right-footed, so he can play out on the left as an inverted left winger, and he can also play on the right as an orthodox right winger, as well as playing as a 10 and sometimes. So for me, I think these players can absolutely be magical for Nigeria. And before you go on to say they're too young, because that's what people want to say, oh, this young, just 17 years old, or he's barely 18 years old. Lamine Yamal has thrown that out of the window. What he's done for Spain has thrown all that gimmick, all that noise out the window. Now, there's some credence to saying you need your players to have experience, you need your players to, be fully mature to play for a senior national team. But when you're competing for the services of these players, when you're competing for the allegiances of these players, you have to take a different step. Now, who might say, "Oh, Nigeria is a big country, nearly 200 million people. It's a big brand, the most popular black nation, this and that, 3-time African winners, been to the world, have had multiple World Cup appearances," and you'll be right if you say all that. But let's be honest. Let's be honest 1,000%. And that's whether you like it or you hate it or you think it's unfair, the way the world is at this minute, certain countries have a higher profile than other countries. And that's just it. England has a higher profile in the world of sport, in the world of football, than Nigeria. That's just the honest truth. You can get angry, you can squeeze your face, you can say in the comments that I'm wrong, but that's just the truth. You can't dance away from it. So what do you do when you're in such a situation? You have to take a different step. Now you may say, "Oh, these are young kids. Why should they play for the Super Eagles?" And that's the point I'm trying to make. You want to get these players to play for Nigeria, you have to offer them first in football, because one of their talent, this is not just because you're getting some player that can play for England and play for Nigeria as well. No, because their talent is generational and it can totally impact the, the midfield, totally impact the Nigerian Super Eagles team. Because ever since JJ Okocha, we've not really had those magical players that can play through the middle. We've had excellent wingers like we still do now, but we don't have those magical players, that can play through the middle. And this is where Rio Ngoma comes in. I think he will be exceptional for the Super Eagles. Now, I'm not saying he should come immediately and start and play full 90 minutes. No, he can play 20 minutes. He can play 15 minutes. He can play 45 minutes. You can manage his game time, but to ensure you get him, locked in to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles, you need to do that because most of these players, they want to play senior team football, senior men's football. So don't wait till the time when you're beginning to compete with, with England for his services. Look at what Germany they're doing. Germany, they're also giving opportunities to young players as well. And one thing is, we can't be waiting for, the scraps off the table of the likes of Spain or the likes of England. The players that don't want, okay, then maybe we try to see if we can get them. No, compete for these players, convince them of the project, and get these players on board to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles because these players are magical players. If you're not such good players, I wouldn't be talking about them. These are good players, amazingly talented players, players with generational talent that we talk about for years to come. And it would be a shame for Nigeria not to get these players. It would be a real shame. Tyreek George is super special. You need to watch him play. Watch him play for the Chelsea Academy. Watch Rio Ngoma play for the Academy. He is a special player. And I want him to play for the Super Eagles. They can be indeed magical, for the Nigerian Super Eagles. And people say, "Oh, dual nationality." I don't care. I just want the best players available that are eligible to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles because that's the only way you can win the big titles. You can win World Cups and things. You can compete. Nigeria has a very deep talent pool, both grassroots, home based, and ones who grew up abroad as well. So there shouldn't be any restriction as to where we get talent from, especially as long as they're eligible, as long as they have the talent to play for the national team, you get them involved. Now, this next person I want to talk about is Obasi. I know I've talked about this player so many times, and people are getting tired of me. Well, if you're getting tired of me, you can smash like button, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel. And maybe, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be talking about players like this because no one else would give these players a platform. No one else would talk about them. Definitely not your mainstream media, not even the Nigerian mainstream media. So your Sky Sports, the UK ones, you won't get Talk Sports, no way, not even from Channels, which is a Nigerian, media outlet. You wouldn't hear them talk about players like this. So I think it's my responsibility to talk about players like this. Nubichi Obasi used to play for Beyond Limits. I think it's the academy or a side that's at least affiliated to Remo Stars in the Nigerian Premier Football League. So from Static side, he used to be the captain, but now he's moved to Norway where he played for Valerenga. And he is super talented. He is Nigeria's own version of Vini Jr. 1000%. When you see the way he plays, his speed, his skill on the ball, his trickery, he can play on either flank. So this is a player that should be reintegrated to the team. And I know I've talked about Rio Ngoma and Tyreek George as players that should be playing for the Nigerian Super Eagles. But one thing, and when you talk about players who have dual nationality, what you get from people is that, oh, these players dual nationality, how about the ones who are homegrown? Why don't we develop them? There's nothing stopping you from developing either side, from getting talent from either side of the divide. Nothing. But then I always say this. For all those that keep talking about, oh, dual nationality players, we don't want them in, we want ones who are just have single nationality and stuff like that. Has Onyebuchi Obasi been given an opportunity? No, he hasn't. But that's a discussion for another day. What I'm saying is he should be given an opportunity. He should be given an opportunity to play in the Nigerian Super Eagles, not even for under 20s or anything like that. for the Nigerian Super Eagles. And like I said, with Tariq George and Rowan Goma, you don't have to, they don't have to play, he doesn't have to play 90 minutes. He doesn't have to play, y- you know, 90 minutes back to back. He can play 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, get them integrated with the squad. Because we have players that have been invited that, frankly, with all due respect, useless because they're not being used. They're not, they just come there and sit on the bench and people say, oh, they're there for experience. Oh, they're there to motivate the team. Yeah, you can give them an official profile and have young players like this be part of the team. And that 5 minutes, that 10 minutes that you would give someone who's in his 30s, it would be more profitable to give a youngster that opportunity. And I think someone who's 18 years old would be over the moon getting to play for a side as prestigious as the Nigerian Super Eagles. So we need to get these talents involved, get them incorporated in Nigerian national team, not just because we want numbers, but they've got the quality. They've got the quality. They may not have the experience yet, they may yet still be growing, but they have the quality. And this is the time. This is the time you get players like this involved. Why? Because you're not going to have that huge pressure on them to produce and save the day. Because you have your Chikwuezes, you have Ademola Lookmans. So I didn't mean it. Those people, the likes of Ademola Lookman, can bear the burden, to perform, and then these guys could come in and just gradually be part of the team, be integrated into the national team setup. And then when you're having the likes of Chukwueze and the likes coming towards the end of their career, these guys would have already been established players in the national team. What your thoughts or opinions are on this? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think this is rather too early for these players, or do you even want to be part of the team? Or you want to be part of the team and you agree with me? Let me know in the comment section below. So at this point, I've come to the end of today's video, and I'll see you on yet another video. That will be, my preview to the the Liverpool versus Chelsea game, and how Chelsea can hurt Liverpool. That's what I'll be looking at. So at this point in time, come to the end of the video. To have a fantastic rest of your day. Good night, and rather good day, and stay blessed.